Okay, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight for this very special presentation. My name is Sean Friesen, franchise partner with Expedia Cruises. We're part of Team Friesen. We have 10 branches right across Ontario, Thunder Bay to North Bay, so all of it northern Ontario, and then starting in Windsor, Woodstock, 2 in Burlington, Hamilton, Dundas, and did I forget anybody? I think that that's the 10. So so glad that you've joined us here tonight. We're very privileged that we have from Disney, we have Jason Stremble, a good friend and fellow Disney fanatic, and we just wanted to talk to you tonight about a very special product, Adventures by Disney. Many of you have probably gone to Disney World before, or Disneyland. Some of you may have tried the cruise line. And so this is just that next Disney product that you should be taking a look at. And we're just really thrilled that we can present this to you tonight. So I'm going to toss it to Jason. Jason, tell us all about this amazing product.
Well, thank you so much, Sean. And yes, thanks for everybody for joining us tonight to listen to us talk about Adventures by Disney. I think the Adventures by Disney is definitely that hidden gem of the Disney destinations. Because again, everybody knows about Walt Disney World. Everybody knows about Disneyland in California. They know about Disney Cruise Line. But I know you're probably asking yourself, what is Adventures by Disney? I've never heard of it, and I've never heard of that experience. So tonight we'll go over who Adventures by Disney is and what it consists of. So first of all, Adventures by Disney is a guided group style of travel. That can be done in a few different ways to travel. With Adventures by Disney, we break it down into these categories. We've got land adventures. We have river cruise adventures, which we're going to hear a little bit more from Sean a little bit later. Expedition cruises and escapes. And there's another one that I'm going to talk a little bit about near the end of what I have to go over, and it's pretty exciting. But it's definitely a bucket list item for sure. So all of our Adventures by Disney traveling styles are all group guided travel. So I know you might be thinking that group guided is mainly just for seniors or your grandparents, might be college reading week trips for the weekend, or it might be just like a tourist trap type thing where I'm stuck on a bus and we're just seeing churches all the time, or we're just going to those touristy trap type areas. But with Adventures by Disney, we have thought of everything to make it the best trip it can possibly be. We have more flexibility than you would expect. No one in the family compromises when they travel with Adventures by Disney. This ensures that everyone has a great time and feels involved. Lifelong friends are made while traveling with Adventures by Disney. Nothing brings strangers together like delicious food, stunning locations, and a little humor here, zip lining 200 feet above a Costa Rican jungle, which I have done. I've done it once. I can say I've done it. I would say no thank you to doing it again.
Do we have video? Do we have video of you doing the zip line? No, because
thankfully no video. There would probably we wouldn't be able to have the sound on. That's for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I've done zip lining before in Costa Rica. This was the top of the top zip lining experience. It was actually thrilling to do this. I'm glad I did it. But just kind of one thing I'd like to say about it actually is that with most of our included excursions on Adventures by Disney, you have choice. So we said with lots of flexibility in this. So on this particular case, you could have either have done the zip lining, or you could have went with a naturalist walking through the forest floor, pointing out flora, fauna, the animals, the insects that are there. So again, we've always got choices that you can make while you're traveling with Adventures by Disney. So one of the categories would be land adventures. So land adventures really is the key component to Adventures by Disney. This is where you'll get really the most product that's there. But it's so much more than just a vacation. It's an opportunity to create a lifetime of magical memories for you and your family. Land adventures are Adventures by Disney's signature offering. So you can be sure that each itinerary includes outstanding accommodations, an array of amenities, and world-class service. You can be sure that wherever in the world that you choose to visit, you and your family will see the world as only Disney can show it to you. Some of the destinations that we have with Adventures by Disney, we've got Africa, Asia, Pacific, Central and South America. We just saw Costa Rica, Europe and North America. So not too many places that we do not go. Just to highlight some of the new adventures that we have for 2024, basically we've got 3 new itineraries. I'm not going to go through it in depth, but just we've got a fantastic Morocco itinerary where it's 10 days, tons of included sightseeing. And again, with Disney, it is all, it's family themed, but we do have adults exclusive departures. With the family themed departures, we'll have lots of, like, if let's just say there'll be a wine tasting. So obviously the kids in the group won't do the wine tasting. We'll have something separate just for them. So it's absolutely fantastic. Colombia, huge up and coming destination, where this one is 8-day trip, starts in Bogota, ends in Cartagena, and we include the inter-trip air on this as well. And again, tons and tons of included excursions. And then, of course, our own backyard. If you haven't been out to Atlantic Canada, why not take an Adventures by Disney trip out there? There's a fantastic brand new trip. Again, on this one, 8 days, starting and ending in Halifax. We go all up through into PEI, a little bit into New Brunswick, and then ending back in Halifax. So, of course, like I said, all of our itineraries are, it is Disney. So all of our vacations are created with families in mind. But having considered the timing and length of the trips, including special activities for what we would like to call our junior adventurers, so that everyone gets the best experience and the best experience they possibly can. And of course, the outstanding hotel accommodations, both in terms of quality and location. I would say Adventures by Disney definitely is more of a luxury quality product that's up there. Again, our hotels, the locations of them are definitely thought, there's a lot of thought that goes in that. It's not just close to the city. Generally most of them are centrally located. If not, there's a reason behind it. It's because of the view or because it's on the beach or something like that. So again, set sail along some of Europe's most magnificent rivers as you explore storybook villages, iconic cities, and stunning landscapes while you enjoy the luxuries and amenities on an exclusive sailing with Adventures by Disney. So we do charter the best ships on the rivers with our partner, AMA Waterways, which is a leader in luxury river cruising. So Sean's going to talk a bit more about this in a minute. So with the river cruising, again, we sail through the heart of Europe on the Danube River, visiting destinations in Germany, Austria, Slovakia, and Hungary. We take in the beautiful countrysides dotted with castles and vineyards as you make your way through the Netherlands, Germany, France, and Switzerland on the Rhine River. Or why not find inspiration as you walk the sands of the Normandy beaches and visit the home of Monet as part of our adventure on the Seine River in France. So please enjoy also enjoy special departures that include seasonal sailings. So of course, Europe's very famous for their Christmas markets. We've got sailings that include that. We also have adult exclusive Oktoberfest. I think, Sean, that was one that you were on.
That was, and yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
More about that shortly.
But then again, like I said, we'll learn more about the Adventures by Disney river cruising in a bit from Sean. So again, let Adventures by Disney worry about the little things that make up your precious holiday. We take care of the logistics that can weigh you down should you be experiencing in the destination to allow you to experience the destination to its fullest. Things like internal transfers, baggage, directions, and so much more. Why our adventure guides even think about bathrooms. So if it's a local bathroom, but you need a coin to pay, they've got the coins for you. They'll point out the best bathrooms to use, of course. They'll also have hand sanitizer on hand, sunscreen if it's needed. There's definitely water is included, and they like to include local treats throughout the trip as well. And let's not forget being in the photo. So the adventure guides also will take all of the pictures. This is a fantastic feature where at the end of the trip, they take hundreds of photos of everybody, and then they upload it to the Adventures by Disney app that you sign up for at the beginning of before you even depart. And then you get a download of all of the photos that are there. It's absolutely incredible, and that's included. And of course, authentic storytelling. This is Disney, right? And who does storytelling better than Disney? Whether that's through our movies or through the parks, and we translate that into the stories of the countries and cultures that you are visiting. Of course, on an Adventures by Disney, there are no I'll do quote unquote characters on this, so you're not going to have Mickey Mouse kind of show up. You're not going to have Goofy show up. But a lot of our local guides, as you see here in the photo, do dress in a period piece. So I like to think of them as a bit of character from that city that's there as well. So all of our trip developers go into a new destination before we even put a new trip out there. And they ask, what is the story here? There has to be a story that Disney can tell. And then they ask, how do I combine those active experiences to tell this story? So we're not just going into a destination because everybody goes to that destination. The destination really has to be authentic and tell a fantastic story. So every departure, every destination that Adventures by Disney goes to, that's really thought out way before even the itinerary comes out to the public. Expedition cruises is another experience that you can have with Adventures by Disney. So you can experience stunning natural wonders and wildlife in some of the world's most picturesque destinations on an Adventures by Disney expedition cruise. Our expedition itineraries offer a spectacular mix of planned and spur-of-the-moment activities geared toward families and adults traveling without children. Here you can unleash your adventurous spirit as you travel on a unique expedition cruise where you'll explore the diverse islands and ecosystems of the Galapagos archipelago. Experience the pristine beauty of this equatorial region where you may get up close with many endemic species, including marine iguanas, giant land tortoises, sea lions, and as you can see there, the blue-footed boobies, and more. You can choose from 4 different routes. Each offers amazing adventures as only Adventures by Disney can provide. Another expedition cruise is begin your amazing expedition in the South American beauty of Patagonia, also known as the end of the world. Your adventure continues with the exploration of the infinite riches and natural splendor of the Antarctic Peninsula. Nature takes center stage and unique experiences abound as you hike through the penguin colonies. Marvel at pods of whales navigating the waters around you, and share a toast with fellow adventurers as you glide past glaciers and ice flows. Now, if you are interested in an expedition cruise to the Antarctic, you will unfortunately have to wait until the 2025 season comes out because the 2024 season is already sold out. So here you can see the icons, but see it in an immersive, active way. With Adventures by Disney, you will find that you are experiencing less seeing and more doing. Our activities aren't designed just for adults or just for kids. Everyone will have an experience to remember. So this is the Adriatic, a coastal region, the crossroads of Central and Southeastern Europe, whose history has long been tied with the sea. On this epic expedition cruise, you'll discover a land once ruled by the Greeks, Romans, and Venetians, each of which imbued their own indelible mark on the food, architecture, wine, and culture of the countries of Croatia and Montenegro, which you will visit on this adventure of a lifetime. So again, with active hands-on and immersive experiences, with the inclusions of local guides that really bring that destination to life on top of our already incredible adventure guides, we want you to experience the destination hands-on. You're not just going to pass by something and here's this and here's that. We're going to be, off the coach as much as possible and truly experiencing the destination. I know when Sean goes through his river cruise experience, there's a few hands-on experiences that he had. So I'm really looking forward to seeing again what those were and him sharing them with you as well. So get away on a perfect adventure when you're short on time, but you're looking for a big adventure. Visit breathtaking North American locations, see iconic landmarks in Paris, Rome, and throughout Europe, and see the sights down under in Australia. An Adventures by Disney escape is also a great pre or post Disney Cruise Line vacation that allows you and your family the opportunity to spend more time exploring a new and favorite city before or after your adventure at sea. Whatever escape you choose, you can be sure it will provide you and your family a lifetime of memories. Now, here's the big one.
Sign me up for this one.
Right? This is the bucket list item. This is the one that, it's definitely got to do. So take off on an epic adventure where you'll explore the world in a truly unique way to travel. From the moment you board the VIP configured private jet operated by Icelandair, the dedicated flight crew, your adventure guides, adventure leaders, and hosts will ensure that your vacation is hassle-free and full of adventure for everyone, both on land and in the air. And whether you're exploring the attractions in Shanghai Disneyland, taking a behind the magic tour at Walt Disney Studios in California, or standing in awe of the Great Pyramids of Giza, your adventure by Disney's private jet adventure will be like your personal backstage pass to the world, giving you unprecedented access to unique opportunities and spectacular events. Plus, you'll enjoy world-class amenities and exceptional service at the outstanding accommodations you'll call home throughout this trip. This is a once-in-a-lifetime vacation for sure. I know that we have a lot of Imagineers that are part of this trip. They're actually on some of the flights. And while you're flying, they're actually talking about a lot of phenomenal Disney stories that you won't get anywhere else. And I do know that they also throw in a lot of other special inclusions as we go through this. So definitely. Yeah,
and Jason,
go ahead, Sean.
You do visit every park. So
yes,
you're going to visit, both the parks in Tokyo, Shanghai, Hong Kong, all 4 parks in Orlando, 2 parks in Los Angeles, and you spend a night at the Skywalker Ranch.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Now, we don't guarantee that you'll meet George Lucas, but
right. But you never know.
You might bump into him at breakfast. Who knows, right?
Yeah, just a spectacular trip.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, for sure. And again, VIP services, insider access. So at Disney, we do have some exclusives. So of course, in Southern California with our Disneyland park, we have backstage magic that's included on trips that go through there, mainly like the escapes. So with our Imagineers, but also we have amazing relationships with local experts. Not only do we hand select the best of the best in each location, but very truthfully, a lot of them enjoy working with Disney. Everyone has an emotional connection to our company, from the movies to television to the parks, and goes out of their way to exemplify the service and quality you'll find in the parks. Our adventure guides We include at least 2 on every trip, 8 on the river cruising, up to 8 on the river cruising portions. They are to engage and connect with all of our guests at all ages. They certainly go above and beyond and bring history to life. So they truly are the key to our success, and that is another reason that sets us apart. They ensure each trip runs smoothly, assisting guests the entire time. They manage all of the details of a stress-free vacation. And as previously mentioned, we have at least 2 guides from beginning to end. One is called the Captain of Fun. Like, how awesome is that? Like, to have that on your business card. I am the Captain of Fun. And the other is the Destination Expert. So these 2 guides will go from the beginning all the way through to the end of the trip. Of course, we also include many local experts, as mentioned earlier, that join the group in various cities and experiences, just to really make it the most exclusive experience that you possibly could get. So Sean, that does take me to the end.
Okay, if you just want to flip the host back to me so I can take control.
So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to, and again, Sean, like you said, we've done this many times. Now I just got to figure out how.
Under participant or under panelist. Oh, I can actually reclaim the host.
There you go. You're the host. Perfect.
I'm now the host. Okay. So thank you, Jason.
Sean.
So what I want to do is I had the pleasure recently of sailing with Adventures by Disney. I got to go with my son, who is 27 or 26 or 27. So it was a chance for us to be able to experience the product. I've sailed on the Danube several times before with various cruise lines. I have sailed with AMA Waterways before, but I wanted to know what is the difference when doing it with Adventures by Disney. And so I just wanted to take you through what a river cruise would be like. And I think I was going to pop these right at the very start. Before we get to that, just who is Expedia Cruises team Friesen? That's my lovely wife and a funny looking guy beside. We've got a team of 300 consultants from Kenora to North Bay, Windsor to Toronto. We love what we do. We're about helping our clients create memories and fulfill dreams. And if you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, what do you want? You don't want to give your kids or give your grandkids money. You want to give them memories. You want to do amazing things with them. That's what this is. This is my leadership team across our storefronts. I've got an amazing team that works with our consultants. Here's where my stores are, and these are just some of the lovely signs that I've spent way too much money on. So, okay, so that's a little bit about us. Sean, stop it. I want to hear about the cruise. So, this was a special adults only cruise because it was Oktoberfest. And so we flew from Toronto to Munich, and it was Oktoberfest time. So a lot of people were going in 1 day, 2 days before. The Disney pre-cruise hotel was in downtown Munich. It was the Grand Hyatt. So a beautiful, centrally located hotel within walking distance of Oktoberfest. So there's a lot of people there. I couldn't believe how people were dressed up for Oktoberfest. They had the hat, the lederhosen. They were ready to do some serious drinking. And I guess that's why the Oktoberfest cruises are particularly adults only. So maybe that was the thinking. The day that we departed was about a 2.5 hour transfer from Munich to this little town in Germany called Wilshofen. And this was chosen by the people that own AMA Waterways. They wanted to make this town their base because they would do a Oktoberfest little party. And so this is particularly for the guests who are sailing. So this is your first night. The beer is being poured. The pretzels are there. And you've got your very own private Oktoberfest party. And then as part of the celebration, they pick a couple of people to come up and learn whatever dance this guy's doing. And you know, the guy doing it, he's good. The people trying to do it, not so good.
Sean, I didn't see you dancing there.
No, we were filming. So
somebody has to film it, right?
I was going to, but I needed to bring back the video. So funny guy. So that night we sailed from Wilshofen to Passau, Germany, and Passau is this neat town, about 100,000 people. It's where three rivers come together. And so I've been to Passau several times. I've done the tour. So the very first thing that we did when we left the ship, we walked to a candy maker. I've never been to a candy maker in Passau, and that was this master candy maker, and we made these marzipan little piggies, and he walked us through how to do it. So if you were there with kids, I mean, this would be amazing. We all had a lot of fun too, but these are the kinds of special things that Disney's going to do with your kids. If you've brought your family to Disney World 3 or 4 times, you've been to Disneyland, bring your kids to Europe. It's a whole different level of memory making and a whole different level of experience. We got to decorate the little piggy, and it was pretty cool. And then we visited this amazing Baroque church in Passau. It has the second biggest pipe organ in Europe. Used to have the largest one, but a church in France built a pipe organ that's bigger than theirs, and so they have now they've torn apart their pipe organ and they're making it bigger so they can be the biggest one again. You can see the host here. That was our guide, and our guides were all done up in period costumes, and they were telling the story about the city. And I learned more from this gentleman here telling the story through the history down in a way that I'd never heard it done before. Another one of those differences that Disney makes. He actually selected me, and I was the bishop who had ruled Passau for 25 years or something. So just some of the special touches that Disney does. And of course, we went into another church, and when you go to Europe, you're going to see the odd church. And then they brought us to it was a park, it was a treetop walk. So not zip lining like Jason, but there was a raised walking trail. We were from 50 to 100 feet above the ground, and we were walking through the treetop canopy, which was really neat. And once we finished that, we finished up down at a giant playground There was trampolines and lots of stuff for kids to do. And there was, surprisingly, because it was Germany, a large beer garden there too. And so that's a place that I'd never been to before, and just another way to make a river cruise family friendly. And then on day 3, we were in Linz, in Austria, and from here, this is where you are going to go to Salzburg. So Salzburg, that's where The Sound of Music was. That's where it was filmed. I've been to Salzburg before, but Disney brings us to a salt mine. Salzburg's salt mine. I never put the two of those together. And so the way that you get into the salt mine, you climb aboard this little toboggan, and they put you all on this toboggan, and you go ripping into the mountain for about 2 or 3 miles. And you come into the salt mine, and they have preserved this salt mine as a teaching, a museum. The salt mine is closed now, but you can find out like how they mine salt over really 2,000 years. They go like right back to the Roman times. And there we are down on our snazzy little salt mine, whatever that would be. So picture you and your family in your white aprons, or you and the wife during Oktoberfest, leaving the kids at home. Nothing wrong with doing that either. And once we did that, then we went right into Salzburg. And Salzburg is just this fairy tale medieval village that you walk through the gardens, and yeah, it's just, we don't have places like this in North America. Just spectacular. Just right in the back of this picture, you see those stairs. That is where during The Sound of Music, Julie Andrews with the kids sang the Do Re Mi song. And so the guide had told me when there's kids, they will bring the kids on the stairs and they will actually sing the Do Re Mi song from The Sound of Music. She asked if we wanted to do that, and we said no, but we did get a great group picture. Jason was mentioning that the adventure guides will take hundreds of pictures. Our guides took, I think it was 1,020 pictures, and like they were constantly taking lots of group shots. And so because on a river cruise is like no other travel that I've ever done. It's the most social thing that I've ever done. By the time that you're done, you know everybody down on the cruise. You've done tours, you've dined, you get to know everybody. So that's Salzburg, Sound of Music, lots of art. It's just a beautiful, beautiful city. This is supposedly where the lock in your love on the bridge thing started. Every couple of years, they have to cut off all the locks because the bridge is, it's too much weight for the bridge. And just a neat little medieval town. Of course, it has a church, so we have to take a picture of that. I love the gilded signs coming off the buildings. They were there because in medieval times, most of the people couldn't read, and so you needed a sign to tell you who was the butcher, who was the baker. That's the thinking behind that. The birthplace of Mozart, and that's the room that he was born in. And that was Salzburg. Now, when you went back to the ship at night, you'd have supper, and then later there would be There would be local performers coming on the ship. One night, the Adventure hosted, karaoke, so Disney karaoke. One of our guides was from Liechtenstein, and he couldn't say karaoke. He called it karaoke, which I thought was kind of funny. One of our guides was from Liechtenstein. One was from Budapest, Hungary, and then one worked in Disney World, and one worked in Disneyland. So it was a really neat group of adventure guides. Day 4. So Milk. Milk is this, smallish town, but it has this amazing abbey. It has been a working monastery for years, like 800 years. And when the Habsburgs had their dynasty in Austria-Hungary, the wing on the left-hand side, that was the royal wing, and then they paid to keep the monastery going as long as they could stop in here a couple days a year. Just an incredible sight. They don't let you take pictures inside, which is too bad, but this is the view from the balcony just outside the church. So they bring you in there, and you can walk back to the ship from here. You're that close. But then something that Disney does different, they bring you to a little inn, and there somebody shows you how to make apricot jam, because that's very, very big in the Wachau Valley here. We got to do a wine tasting with wine from the Wachau Valley, and there were fishermen there showing us the fish that they catch as well. So we were doing like 1 to 2 tours a day. They actually kept us very busy. We saw a ton of stuff. Then we go to Vienna, and Vienna is just one of those amazing places you really need to go. Schönberg Palace, a palace for the Habsburgs. I've been to Schönberg before, but they brought us down to the bakery, and we made apple strudel, which I'd never done before. And then we went across and went to the Marionette theater. And so if you were bringing kids along, this Marionette theater was fascinating. The grounds of Schönberg Palace are stunning. You can see from here, it was great. Here was the Marionette person who's in charge of the theater, and she had like 4 other people working with her for the show, and it was pretty cool. And then we got to wander Vienna, and the ship didn't sail until midnight, so we had the whole day just to explore, and Tim and I certainly did. This is St. Stephen's Cathedral in Vienna, and we just wandered around. I mean, everywhere that you turn, there's another amazing building or something. Yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. Definitely it needs to be down on your bucket list. And even the museum, we went to the Museum of Natural History, and the museum has, all the artwork, and this was a former palace as well. And then we went back to the ship for supper, and then we were really fortunate that Disney does include a classical Mozart Strauss concert, where other cruise lines will charge you $100 to $150 for this concert. This is included, and we got to do this in the ballroom of Schaumburg Palace. And so, like, that's what this room was built for back in the 1600s. And the acoustics in this room just gave you goosebumps. You could really picture what this would have looked like 100, 200, 300 years ago. And it was just a magical concert. I'm not a big classical music fan, but you were just immersed in this. And this is like one of those special things that Adventures by Disney does. Day 6, we went to Bratislava, probably a city you've never heard of. This is in Slovakia. This is the capital of Slovakia, and it's this neat medieval town. They then took us out to the Habsburgs kind of hunting lodge, Schlosshof, and it was this really neat little spot way off in the middle of nowhere, and we did a really neat tour there. And then that night we did some scenic cruising with the lights. It was just really neat. And then we pulled into Budapest, and this again, we're not taught very much about Budapest, but just a really neat city that has recovered so well from communism to free market. There was a city walking tour, and then they brought us to this Hungarian kind of ranch with Hungarian cowboys. You got to make real, authentic Hungarian goulash. There was a rodeo, tons of stuff to do. Would have been fantastic for kids and that. So, yeah. So and then that night, we repositioned the ship because they're not allowed to cruise just back and forth along the canal at night. And so what the ships do is they move from one dock to another dock so that they can do nighttime cruising. And so just to see the Hungarian parliament lit up is just spectacular. And there's 3 bridges. I don't think I've got a picture of the bridges, but yeah, it's just a magical city. And just a few more pictures of Budapest. So what I wanted to know was who goes on Adventures by Disney. First of all, who goes on it without kids? Definitely Disney fanatics. So everybody on our cruise had been to Disney before. They loved Disney. People with Disney tattoos. I talked to the adventure guides a fair bit. About 75% of people that they normally cruise with are cruising with, kids, families, grandma, grandpa taking the kids and the grandkids, multi-gen. Yeah, so if you are looking for that magical family memory-making experience, this is your product. If you've been to Disney World or Disneyland before or done the Disney cruise, you already know what a great job Disney does, creating those memories and just the customer service and all the wonderful things that they do. Now think about a group of 100, 120 on a cruise, or 30, 40 on a guided tour. What kind of magic that they could do there. So we just wanted to give you a little taste of what Adventures by Disney is about. And if you've got any questions, if you want to know more about the product, please reach out. Reach out to your Expedia Cruises Team Friesen consultant, or if you do not have one, there's our toll-free number. There's a email. Reach out. We would love to talk to you and just get you booked on what's going to be the vacation of a lifetime. So with that, turn off my screen here. And oh, there I am. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here tonight. If you've got any questions, there is a Q&A button down at the bottom. So feel free to fill out a question. And if there are none, I just want to say thank you to Jason for joining us here tonight. And
Thank you, Sean.
yeah, and great product, and we look forward to helping you make those memories with your family. So
Absolutely. Sean, I just want to thank you for doing this. I think it's a product that, like I said at the top, is kind of like our hidden gem, if you will, of the Disney destinations. Again, everybody knows about the parks, everybody knows about the cruise line, but Adventures by Disney is truly taking that Disney experience to a heightened level. And like you said, making those magical memories of a lifetime come true.
absolutely. Okay. Well, I don't see any questions, so we must have done such a great job that we just answered them all. Oh, I see a Q&A. I see one just coming in. Are the cruises fully chartered? So all the people on the cruise are part of the Adventures by Disney trip? That's a great question. And yes, Disney charters the Amma Waterway ship. They charter it for, they were telling me for May, June, July, August, and then a couple weeks in September and October, and then for the Christmas markets.
Yep.
For the expedition trips, that ship is chartered too, right?
Yes, that would be a chartered ship as well.
Yeah. So yes, there is no other. How would you say? No other
group on there. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, because
Great
again,
question.
it's the Disney difference. It's what Disney includes on the ships and off the ships. So it'd be very difficult if there were other guests that were there and it's like, sorry, you can't come.
Right. No, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question. Are the flights included? Is there a airfare included option, or do we need to book it ourselves? Flights are not included, except for that jet around the world that would be included. But we can certainly find you the best option. We would check with Disney first, and if we can't find anything, we would book it directly with the carrier, or find one of our third-party suppliers. So that's a great question. We will take care of you the whole way. So good. Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to say good night and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Jason, and please reach out if you've got any questions.
Thanks a lot, Sean.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.